So in this quick video, I'm going to answer the question, how long do I need to tap for? Right. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Michael Hetherington. I specialize in working with anxiety, stress, digestive disorders, and I use a variety of tools and techniques, mainly EFT tapping. Because it's so fast, it's so effective. And if you stay to the end of this video, I'll also show you how you can study EFT if you want to go deeper with it. I'll share those details at the end. Okay, so let's get to this question. So how long do I need to tap for? In order to answer that question, we really need to ask another question, which is, what is the main purpose, or why are you tapping? Right. If you understand the why, then it'll help us understand how long to tap for. It's like if you understand the diagnosis, you know what the treatment plan is, right? So there's really two different types of tapping, which I explain in other videos that I've created as well. There's what we call like urgent EFT, which is you feel agitated, you feel triggered, like an anxiety issue, and then we apply tapping to bring us down back into more baseline, and that's the treatment, right? The reason, the why behind it is because we want to get from triggered down to baseline. So in those instances, in those cases, and you'll find most videos and apps and things is between 5 to 10 minutes, right? So around 5 to 10 minutes is enough time to notice physiological changes, notice the changing in your breathing. So often that is kind of a nice starting point, 5 to 10 minutes, just for a quick physiological change, right? To get yourself to some sort of baseline. So that's the first one, is I'd say 5 to 10 minutes is sort of stock standard for just creating an initial change. Now, the other version, they call like 1 minute tapping, or TikTok tapping, I call it. 1 minute, in my opinion, it doesn't really do much, right? 1 minute, you might slightly change physiology, but it's really nothing significant. You're definitely not going to go deep in any sort of mental patterns. You're not really going to change neurological systems at all, really. So I'm not a fan of 1 minute TikTok tapping, simply because 1 minute is not really long enough. And if you look at other activities that we all do as human beings, the same rules kind of apply, all right? So let's look at exercising. Let's look at reading a book, right? Let's look at studying a language. Let's look at meditating, right? So how long do you need to exercise? How long do you need to read a book? How long do you need to, learn a language per day, in order to see real changes and see progress, right? So if we use this model, 1 minute. So if you do 1 minute of exercise or 1 minute of reading a book, is that really going to be significant? Is that really going to change things? Not really, right? No way. That's why I'm not a fan of it. 10 minutes, however, we are getting somewhere, right? 10 minutes of exercise, 10 minutes of reading a book, right? 10 minutes of studying a language every day. So you can see that we're starting to get change happening. Particularly if you do it most days, you're definitely going to get a change in the system, right? So what about 20 minutes or more than 20 minutes? So again, if we look at the other things like exercising, if we look at reading a book, the sweet spot is about 20 to 30 minutes, right? If you do most activities in 20 to 30 minutes, you get a huge change in your physiological structure. There's changes in the brain. You can actually get deep work done, right? Or the beginning of deep work, I would say. And in a therapeutic setting, like if you're working with someone, that's what I found. It's like at least 20 minutes of tapping is where we're getting deep therapeutic effects, right? If you're in a one-on-one consultation with a practitioner, usually sessions are about 1 hour to 1 hour 15, or maybe 1.5 hours. And so we're getting about 45 minutes of tapping in that session. So that's a good therapeutic dose. Anywhere from 20 to say 50 minutes is a good amount of tapping. It's a good therapeutic dose, I would call it. So that's the second type of tapping I talk about, which I call calm EFT. Basically, we're not in a triggered state, which is an urgent EFT, but instead we're in a sort of semi-stable state. And then we go into the therapeutic realm where we are now looking at potential, traumas from the past, unresolved issues from the past, unresolved emotions or events. And we can apply the therapeutic setting 20, 30, 40 minutes of tapping, and we're really going to get progress with that. Okay. So that's the basic 3 models to look at. How long do I need to tap for? 1 minute? No, not really. It's not 1 minute of anything. How effective is that, right? 10 minutes? Yes, we're definitely getting somewhere. It's a good place to start. But real therapeutic changes, we're talking 20 minutes to 40, 50 minutes. That's a good therapeutic dose. And I would say you don't even need to practice every day. Some people are very fanatic about practicing every day, but I would say most days is okay as well. I don't like putting pressure on ourselves because most people already have a lot of expectation and pressure. And then if you miss a day, it puts more guilt and pressure on. So I like to just do most days with your practice is good enough. And again, if your why is you want therapeutic benefits, like long-term benefit, you got to be tapping for at least 20 minutes, really, realistically. But if you're just looking to manage stress and anxiety or pull the symptoms down, 10 minutes here and there is just going to pull you down, but it's not really going to be a strong therapeutic dose. Yeah. And to finish off, in a day, how long can you tap for in a day? What I've noticed through working over the last 8, 10 years of doing tapping is that it seems to be a time zone around 1 hour. More than an hour, the brain seems to go, I call it jelly. It's kind of hard to focus after a while. So if you just keep, you just keep saying things and trying to focus and tapping, after a while, it's like the brain sort of gets overloaded, I would say. Or, it's like you're trying to learn something, right? Your maths or some kind of like dance move or something. It's fine for a while, but after you keep hitting the brain, for over an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, it just turns to jelly. And you basically need to sleep, you need to rest the brain so that it can recalibrate. It's called reconsolidation. And then you can go again the next day. So overall, in one day, I'd say around an hour a day is kind of starting to max out. Again, over 20 minutes is therapeutic dose, 10 minutes is just basic management dose, and 1 minute is a bit of a joke. So that's it. Hopefully that answers the question. If you want more information and if you want to go deeper into EFT through training, so this is part of the training, we'll talk about, inside the training, we talk about how to structure it, with clients and how to structure on yourself to do these therapeutic doses. There's a link connected to this video. It'll take you to my website, and that's got the details of my accredited international EFT practitioner level training. Okay, so let me know in the comments below if that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.